Now they are calling for the deportation of Black American citizens. And it happens to be against Senator Raphael Warnock. Let's highlight the reality. Okay, put up the picture full mass here. Former governor out of South Carolina, Governor Nikki Haley, a Republican obviously, on Sunday said that Senator Raphael Warnock, senator out of Georgia, should be deported as she rallied for the Republican Senate nominee, Herschel Walker. Now I got more background to this. The quote goes, legal immigrants are more patriotic than the leftists these days, Haley said at the Hiram, Georgia rally. They worked to come into America and they love America. They want the laws followed in America. So the only person we need to make sure we deport is Warnock. Haley, who served as ambassador to the United Nations during the Trump administration and is considered a potential 2024 presidential candidate, has stumped for a number of GOP candidates across the country ahead of the midterm elections. So why is Haley stumping? She's stumping for two reasons. Number one, she's getting paid money. Number two, she is trying to set herself up as a potential contender in the presidential election. But let's look at her statement. She's claiming that somehow Senator Raphael Warnock, who by the way was born in Savannah, Georgia, that Senator Raphael Warnock should be deported. The irony of the statement is that actually her parents are the ones who migrated here from another country. And she is attempting to pit immigrants against a Black male citizen. Now let's take it out of the context of him being a United States senator. We all agree that he is in fact a citizen of the United States. Yes, he happens to be African American, but he is a citizen of the United States. The reason why this dynamic is germane to the reality of her statement is because the entire notion, the genesis of who is a citizen and who is not, is rooted in the reality of enslaved Africans in the United States of America. That was the big debate. Did enslaved Africans have any rights of humanity and citizenship? She's taking you back to that argument. Another point, she says this ridiculous thing and the crowd goes wild. Wait a minute. Raphael Warnock, agree or disagree with his political ideology, is a United States citizen. There's more. After rallies in Georgia and New Hampshire, this was on Sunday, Haley will now travel to Wisconsin and Pennsylvania on Monday. Sunday's rally was part of Walker's bus tour through Georgia during the final stretch of the race. The former football star is running in a tight race against Senator Raphael Warnock, a pastor who assumed office last year after winning a special election. Now, for those who may not know Georgia politics very well, he's not just a pastor. Senator Warnock is the pastor of Ebenezer. Ebenezer is the church that Dr. King pastored. It still has significant tradition, legacy, etc. And this is a church who gives a damn about fighting against racial injustice and inequality in the United States. The Democratic senator is slightly ahead of his Republican opponent and one of the most closely watched Senate races in this election cycle. At the rally, Governor Haley said Walker is a good person who has been put through the ringer and has had everything but the kitchen sink thrown at him. No, ma'am, he has thrown everything but the kitchen sink at other people. He's violent, he lies all the time. He actually lies when the truth would do. Damn, man, you were a national phenomenon, big time, Hall of Famer, and you gotta lie about college? Who gives a damn? But the fact that his narcissism is so clinical, he is seeking validation from who? Not from Black communities, He is seeking validation, not just from white communities. Oh, it's more problematic than that. He is seeking validation from racist, bigoted white communities. That is who he wants approval from. That is the reason he has continued this ridiculous romanticism, romance, we should call it, with Donald Trump, and the adverse ideology connected to the talking points that he continues to spew. Once again, he may be elected to the US Senate. Senator Raphael Warnock holds a slight lead over the Republican rival. In Georgia's most closely watched Senate race, though he's still shy of the majority support he'd need to avoid a runoff election, according to a survey from Emerson College. The poll found Senator Warnock leading Walker 49% to 47% among very likely voters, with another 2% undecided. That undecided number is extremely low. Warnock's lead is largely unchanged from September when he held a 2-point advantage over Walker. Now let me tell you why this is a problem for the Warnock campaign. Warnock has been polling consistently at about 49% since mid-September. Herschel Walker is the one who's gaining ground. The number that has decreased are the numbers of undecided. So you go from 7% undecided back in December to most of those individuals who claim to be undecided now breaking for Herschel Walker. That's called trending. Herschel Walker is the one who has been gaining ground in the political polls. Once again, I always submit this, polls are not predictions. They are simple or simply snapshots of how people currently think and feel. But Herschel Walker? All right. Sharon, thoughts on this?
So many, Dr. Richey. Remember when Nikki Haley, we thought, had broad shoulders, stood tall, and said the flag must come down? She didn't believe it then. We thought she did for a moment, but she didn't believe it. And she doesn't believe what she's saying right now. There's no way she believes it, which makes it even worse. Because the only thing worse than racist are people who look like Nikki Haley, people of color who stand with them and bolster them and support them. It sounded like who she was really talking about, and you're right, was Herschel Walker. And he didn't just lie about, the things that you mentioned, he also lied about giving money to charity. There's nothing he won't lie about. And it's disgusting, and she wants us to take the bait. She wants good people to debate who's more American.
Well said, and obviously their true ideology has nothing to do with values, has absolutely nothing to do with fiscal responsibility or their previous proclamation via platform of the Republican Party. Their true ideology now, Sharon, is simple power. They want power. So whatever they have to say or do in order to obtain their power, that is now their new value system. It is power. All right.